What's up, you guys? Steve here with your stimulus check update, or should I say your monthly stimulus checks update. Now, as you guys know, yesterday, the American Rescue Plan, it got passed by the Senate. It's now going to be moving on to the House, where they're going to be finalizing it, and then it's going to be moving on to President Joe Biden to get signed into law. Now, the American Rescue Plan is going to be providing a third round of $1,400 stimulus checks. Also, it's going to be extending out unemployment benefits till September 6th, and also providing parents with a child tax credit that's going to give them monthly stimulus checks of $250 or $300 per child. So this is all getting finalized right now in Congress, but simultaneously, we're hearing about the next stimulus package that's going to be rolling out that's going to be known as the Build Back Better plan. Now, the details of the Build Back Better plan have not yet been unveiled, but what we've heard so far is that this is going to be an infrastructure package that could be valued up to $3 trillion, so the largest one so far. Now, not just that, but we've also heard that progressive Democrats in Congress are calling for this to also include monthly stimulus checks. Now, I know we've heard this throughout the course of the pandemic, them calling for this, but this came up a lot just last week while they were negotiating the current American Rescue Plan. They said, listen, it's time. Americans need monthly stimulus checks. And what we're hearing is that this could very likely be a possibility. And they're saying this could be the experimentation for something known as UBI, or Universal Basic Income, where pretty much every American would get a monthly stimulus check from the government indefinitely. And what we're hearing is that the experimentation has already started, that there's several cities across the nation that have already introduced some form of universal basic income. So we're going to be diving into some articles and some video footage that just came out today, March the 7th, 2021, to get you caught up on the latest on monthly stimulus checks. But before we dive in, if you could do me a quick favor, it'll just take a second. If you could just universally basically smash that like button, I would appreciate it. It helps out the channel. Like button, comments, and sharing these videos out to anybody that you think might be interested. It helps out my channel. Thank you so much. And also, if this is your first time here, if you're not already part of the viewing community, what we like to call the RAM fam, and you'd like to join to stay up to date on everything having to do with stimulus, unemployment, Congress, investing, economic news, anything having to do with money, why don't you go ahead and take a second to smash the subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so that way as soon as I upload, you can get notified right away. And if you don't already, be sure to follow me on Instagram as well at SteveRam3, because I do my best to respond to as many questions here on YouTube as I can, but there's a lot, so I miss a lot of them. But Instagram is also a great way to get a hold of me as well if you have a question. And always remember that here on YouTube, whenever I respond to your questions, my comments will always have a gray stripe on the name. So if you see something that looks like me, but it doesn't have that, please use caution, because right now there's a lot of scammers out there trying to pose as me, trying to steal your information. Remember, I'll never leave random phone numbers in the comments, never ask for your bank account information, and never recommend random assistants that are going to try to sell you Bitcoin. So if you see that, please use caution. But you guys, I am here to get you caught up on the latest economic news. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Let's get you caught up on the latest regarding stimulus checks. So first, let's go ahead and dive into an article that just came out this morning. Then we're going to be looking at some video footage that just came out this morning. And then we're going to be taking a look at what it is that progressive Democrats specifically are calling for in the Build Back Better plan. So first up, link in the description below to this article that just came out this morning that says, new stimulus proposals look like a guaranteed income experiment. Early results show whether it will work. The new federal pandemic relief bill that's poised to be approved on Capitol Hill could put unprecedented sums of money into the hands of American families. That includes new stimulus checks of up to $1,400 for adults and their dependents, as well as up to $300 per month per child through an enhanced child tax credit. This week, some Democratic senators upped the ante and called for reoccurring stimulus checks and indefinite expansions of unemployment benefits for the duration of the pandemic. To some experts, the move shows the idea of guaranteed income, where a certain floor of money is provided to a targeted set of people, could be gaining momentum in the U.S. The idea of direct checks to Americans has become more popular. Former Democratic presidential candidate Andrew Yang brought national attention to the concept when he proposed direct payments to individuals on the debate stage in 2019. Around that time, cities like Jackson, Mississippi, and Stockton, California started running tests to see exactly how these kinds of programs could work. Now, even more places are embracing the concept, with 42 cities having signed onto Mayors for a Guaranteed Income, a program that helps them to follow Stockton's lead and run their own pilots. So now let's go ahead and take a look at this video footage of what's being proposed and the experimentation that's already taking place. And then we're going to dive into an article of what it is that progressive Democrats are calling for in the form of monthly checks. So let's go ahead and dive right in.
Universal basic income, guaranteed payments to individuals with no strings attached. The idea, once championed by Martin Luther King Jr., has been touted by modern-day politicians like Andrew Yang.
Cash relief is literally the difference between a family eating and a family going hungry. It's the difference between being homeless and having a roof over your head.
In Stockton, the program began under former Mayor Michael Tubbs, looking to help the city recover from the 2008 crash. A fifth of Stockton's residents fall below the poverty line, and residents of color are disproportionately impacted. The experiment gave $500 per month for 2 years to 125 randomly selected low-income residents, and it paid off. Recipients were less anxious and depressed over time, and compared to the control group, they saw improvements in overall well-being. They could more easily handle unexpected expenses as the pandemic began, and they obtained full-time employment at more than twice the rate of non-recipients. For single mom Lorene Paradella, the extra income helped her care for her kids and her car.
I could breathe a lot better, and being a single parent, you're always stressing over other stuff and things, but I was able to sleep a lot better. I could breathe a lot better. I could concentrate on my family a lot better too.
For former Mayor Tubbs, it's no surprise.
Dignity is not attached to work first, but it's attached to humanity, and everyone does better when everyone does better. So providing a floor is something in the best interest of our country.
The project is timely as the administration, of course, is pushing for new stimulus checks. Seed says the study serves as a counter to narratives that cash payments discourage recipients to work. Lorene is one example. She's now motivated to go back to school, she says, to get a bachelor's degree to secure a higher paying job. Shep?
Kate Rogers, thank you.
So there you have it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, as we're hearing that this could be the setup for universal basic income. And last week we saw articles popping up like this. Democrats push for more checks in the next package, stimulus update. Democrats urge Biden to send recurring stimulus checks after the $1.9 trillion relief bill. The expanded financial assistance would be part of Biden's Build Back Better plan. Democrats urge Biden to include reoccurring stimulus checks in the Build Back Better plan. And here's one we're going to be taking a look at. It says, progressives push for monthly stimulus checks as Joe Manchin aims to limit $1,400 payments. Now, as you know, the income eligibility for those $1,400 stimulus checks, it was limited. However, Democrats are saying that the next package, that they want to see those reoccurring stimulus checks. And the article says that Senator Ron Wyden of Oregon, he is spearheading an open letter that was signed by 9 senators calling for the president to put forward reoccurring payments in the upcoming Build Back Better initiative. Biden was initially expected to unveil the Build Back Better recovery plan, which is expected to be heavily focused on infrastructure funding in February. But the president has said that he will release this after the current pandemic relief package passes. Now, the letter said, we urge you to include reoccurring direct payments and automatic unemployment insurance extensions to tie to economic conditions in your Build Back Better long-term economic plan. This crisis is far from over, and families deserve certainty that they can put food on the table and keep a roof over their heads. Families should not be at the mercy of a constantly shifting legislative timelines and ad hoc solutions. The letter also said that data shows that direct payments and enhanced unemployment insurance are among the most effective forms of relief available. Not only do these payments help keep families out of poverty, but they act as an economic stimulus by increasing spending and supporting jobs. When the CARES Act relief checks ran out, poverty rose, and many families saw spiraling debt. Automatic stabilizers will give families certainty that there's more relief coming, allowing them to make the best decision about how to spend their relief payments as they receive them. Now, progressives have called for and are still calling for monthly $2,000 stimulus checks. Now, a poll conducted by Data for Progress and published in early January showed significant bipartisan support for monthly $2,000 payments. Overall, 65% of Americans said that they would support stimulus checks being doled out monthly for the duration of the pandemic. That includes 78% of Democrats and 60% of independents and 54% of Republicans as well. Now, the poll's margin of error was plus or minus 2.9%, but it's still an overwhelming support for monthly stimulus checks. Once again, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. So you guys, once again, right now, we're currently working out the American Rescue Plan with the $1,400 stimulus checks. And as more information comes out on that, I'll be sure to get you guys caught up to date, as we just heard confirmation from President Joe Biden yesterday that you will be seeing that stimulus check this month, in the month of March 2021. But now the attention is being turned to the Build Back Better plan, and they're saying monthly stimulus checks could be on the horizon. And once again, you guys, I'll be sure to keep you up to date here on the channel. And if you made it this far and you haven't already, why don't you go ahead and smash that like button? It helps out the channel. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already part of the viewing community, and be sure to follow me on Instagram as well at SteveRam3. But like I said, I'll be sure to keep you guys up to date here on the channel. Hope you have a blessed Sunday. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.